Well, hello everyone. I hope that you're having an awesome and amazing day. It's me, Natalie Cousins, and I have the pleasure of having some sips and conversation with the president and founder of the Think and Grow Rich Institute, Mr. Satish Verma. Welcome.
My pleasure.
How are you?
Awesome, Natalie. I'm always good.
Great. And so, number one, the reason why I wanted to speak with you is because coming from the world of real estate agents and the real estate agents that I coach, I want them to be able to understand that their mindset and how they do things is how they'll get results. So first, tell me, how did you start with Think and Grow Rich?
Most turning points in your lives come to a totally unexpected time and in unexpected ways. So I was going through some of the worst time of my life, but turned out to be the best time of my life.
Yes.
Okay, and I had lost everything. I had gone bankrupt, and you have two kids to support, and you're looking for any straw of hope at that time.
Yes.
And somebody said, "Why don't you read this book, Think and Grow Rich?" I said, "What the heck is that?
Yes.
I need the money. I don't need need the book, right?"
Yes.
So the book was only $3 at that time. At that time.
Yes.
So I'm going through the book and flipping through the pages. I'm not even reading it. And the last page said that Napoleon Hill Foundation offers a course on Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
And the cost is about $400, $399, something like this. $300, somewhere
in there, yeah.
And I said, well, it's much easier for me to take the course than read the book.
Yes.
And I said, okay, but I didn't have I had only $500 left in the bank. And what happens is when you lose everything, every loser becomes your advisor,
Yes.
right? Every loser becomes your advisor, and you say, well, as if you're the dumbest person because you've lost everything.
Yes.
So I said, no. At that time, you have only one friend. That's your inner self. Eh?
That's right.
Nobody's your friend at that time.
Yes.
So my gut was telling me, invest in this course, invest in this course. It's okay, you don't have the money, but you have $500, you still can pay for the course.
Yes.
So what I did, I sent the money to the Napoleon Foundation. In those days, there were no fax machine, nothing.
Check.
And I sent them the bank draft. And the course was through correspondence.
Yes.
They will send you one lesson
At a time.
and you read the lesson, and after reading the lesson, you say, answer those questions, then they'll send you the other one,
Yeah.
if you pass.
If you pass, yeah.
So I got my first lesson, and first line on that lesson said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe the mind can achieve. Then I started reading more about this. Napoleon said there are mind-made laws and man-made laws. He said you can breach
Amen.
man-made laws, you may not
We're fine.
get punished.
Yes.
But if you follow the laws, man-made laws, you may not get rewarded either.
That's correct.
However, mind-made laws, he says, is much stronger, and they supersede man-made laws.
Yes.
So when I said, okay, the law says, and I've just gone bankrupt, it will take me about 6 years to get out of bankruptcy.
Yes.
I said, but mind-made laws is different. So why don't I make my own laws of the mind? It says whatever the mind can conceive, the mind can believe, it can achieve. So I said, I should be out of bankruptcy in 6 months. That's it. I set my goal, mind-made laws.
Mind-made laws.
And after I took my first lesson, then the second and the third and the fourth, and guess what? It impacted me so much, my thought process, I was out of bankruptcy in 6 months.
Wow.
I said, one day, I'm going to teach this course to the whole world.
Yes.
I set my goal at that time.
Yes.
And guess what I'm doing now?
Teaching.
I'm
And
teaching.
let's tell them how many years was that you said that?
So actually, softly have been teaching since the day I came out of that bankruptcy,
Yes.
right? Because now it impacted me. Whosoever I talked to, I would start teaching. I said, look, guys, know this thing. First thing I did was I started teaching to my kids, and this joke that goes around. I say, my kids came out of their mother's womb with a with a book in their hand, thinking, Think and Grow Rich.
I love it. I love it, yes.
And they have done tremendously well with these principles themselves. Yes. So I was softly teaching to my staff, to other people I met, but officially then the time came, I said, it's about time I should start teaching to the whole world.
Yes.
So I approached the Napoleon Foundation, and this is also a very interesting story.
Yes.
I was sitting in my son's office, and I get an email from Napoleon Foundation. They said, "Oh, there's a conference in Venice, if I like to attend." I said, "Oh." I said to my son, I have been thinking of going to this conference for a while, but I think I should go to Venice.
Yes.
My son, in the meantime, booked my ticket, and I landed in Venice after a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And there I was introduced to a woman. Her name was Christina Chow. Meet Christina. I said, who is she? They said, well, she owns the rights to Think and Grow Rich for Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, I didn't know they were giving me rights.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what about Canada? And the lady told me, he said, yeah, we have 3 parties who are interested in buying rights for Canada.
Yes.
I said, have they signed the agreement? They said, no, they haven't. I pulled out a blank check from my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know how much it was. I gave it to her. I said, look, here is the check. Send me the agreement and I'll sign it.
Right away.
Because see, when you're driven for something and the opportunity comes to you, you recognize the opportunity immediately. And then the price you pay is nothing.
Yes.
Is the value you are going to get out of it so much. Price doesn't mean anything at that time.
Yeah.
And they joked with me, they said, what if we put $1 million on your blank check? I said, I didn't say anything. I said, go ahead. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Because this is what I've been looking for all my life, and there is an opportunity, why should I miss it?
You're in alignment.
Yeah, so in the afternoon they told me, Napoleon Foundation said, yes, you will get the rights. To Canada. Now you see the whole thing, this is what exactly Think and Grow Rich does to you. Mm-hmm. You are never scared of anything.
Yes.
If you see the opportunity, you are going to avail it.
Yes.
You are going to see the potential in something and which your mind has been trained through understanding the principles of Think and Grow Rich. Yeah. Don't miss the opportunity.
Yes.
I'll tell you, this is the best thing I ever did. Now, you can ask me this question, what, Satish, if they had charged you $1 million? I said, let me tell you, Natalie, something about Think and Grow Rich. Mm-hmm. Think and Grow Rich works on very high standards of integrity.
Yes.
Whatever they are charging other 3 people who were competing with me, they are going to charge me the same thing.
That's right.
This is the way it is. See, that's how you start to think.
Yeah.
I said, so what are they charging? If they're charging other people, they'll charge me $1 million. So what's the big deal? Right? So that's how I ended up acquiring the rights for
Think and Grow
Rich in Canada. And if you ask me why I bought the rights for Think and Grow Rich, see, I've been to a lot of personal development courses in my life.
Yes.
And most of the people who are in personal development, they are taking a part or so out of Think and Grow Rich, turning into their own course. Mm-hmm. And they are presenting this philosophy in a diluted form.
So they don't get the full remedy.
Right. So I said, wait a minute. I want to give this world the absolute best, the absolute classic by Napoleon Hill himself.
Yes. And
this is the reason I invested in this. And now we are doing. And now I own right to several countries. And I just bought US not long ago.
Wonderful.
New Zealand, Australia, UK, partly India as well at the same time.
And my parents' hometown.
Yes.
So this is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's dive in a little bit and get more. I want to speak to my people. And so when I say my people, I mean the people that I'm consistently surrounding myself around. And so I'm a coach to real estate agents. Mm-hmm. And, we talk about 6 pillars in my particular program, but the main thing that I always say to them is read, think, and grow rich. Sure. Because I want for them to understand that a lot of them may choose to go into real estate. It could be for money. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, a lot of people here have seen that the market has gone up in Brampton. Mm-hmm. So the house next door to me just sold for $700,000. If they're making 2.5%, that's some good money.
Sure.
So they don't go into it necessarily for passion driven, they go in for a financial driven. And that doesn't necessarily have to be an issue if you believe that the money that you want to make will come through, and if you have a plan.
Yes.
And so, when they come to me, they are ready to throw in the towel, or they're ready to give up, or they don't have a system in place, or they're not organized. And some of them, when you ask, why did you go into real estate? Some will say, well, it's generational, or some will just say, I wanted to be able to make a better living. I wanted to be in control of my own life. But their mind isn't conditioned to understand that in order for you to attract something in your life, it is a lifestyle change, and you have to adapt the steps. So let's talk about that, because I know when we were talking earlier, you said it's not necessarily the principles, it's the outcome that is wanted. And so in the specialized knowledge chapter, where it talks about, going out, and if you can't get the specialized knowledge, you create a mastermind of the people who have that specialized knowledge. So any words of advice that you can give any of the agents, or in fact anyone watching, as to the importance of the outcome versus the steps?
Sure. See, it doesn't matter what you go into business for. Is for money or for passion.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, to be success, let's say as real estate agent, I say I want to make $500,000 a year. So first thing you have to do is to become a person who's worthy of making $500,000.
Yes.
So you have to acquire certain habits, certain traits you have to develop, right? Certain characteristics you must acquire, certain knowledge you must get to make that $500,000.
Yes.
And if you are not at that level, no matter how hard you're going to work, you're never going to make $500,000 because you don't attract that $500,000 because you're not that person.
Yes.
So first you become, right?
Yeah.
Then first you do, then you become, then you will have it, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people don't understand. They got into business. Oh, this guy sold the house to me for $1 million. Or he made $25,000 out of this. Not realizing what you have to do to make that $25,000, right?
Yes.
So to sell anything, Napoleon says very clearly. He says to become rich in this world.
Yes.
Only you have to do two things. Number one, give more value than what you take in. Number two, influence as many people as you can.
Possible.
That's it.
Yeah.
So the more people you can influence, right, the more service you can provide to people, the richer you are going to be.
Yes.
The question is this: to train real estate people, this is what we do. We help them how they can influence more people.
Yes. My main thing is relationship marketing.
Yes. The more people you can influence, and you develop those traits within you, that becomes like a magnet within you.
Truth and what does it say? You say these things and you believe in these things, and they have to be true and
justice.
So
So you become that person. All of a sudden, the people are drawn to you, not because you are a great real estate agent, because you are a great person. Yeah. So that's in any business. See, let's say for example, life insurance. Most of the companies have the same policies.
Same package.
Yes. So the one supersedes the other because the person who presents you the policy, you are attracted to that personality.
Yes.
And that's why you buy it. Otherwise, product is same.
Yes. And so with real estate agents, what will happen is they would have sold you a house 5 years ago. Okay? And within that 5-year time frame, how many times have you heard from them?
Top agent.
How many times have you heard?
Will always be connected to them.
That's
top agent will always be connected with them.
That's right.
Okay. It's the people who are there in business for a short time.
Transactional.
Yes, and they will sell you the house. You never hear their name. You never see them again. Again, boils down to what thing? Influencing more people.
That's right. And so a client of mine saw the lady in the supermarket.
Yes.
The lady was with child.
Sure.
So she says, we'll just say, Miss Smith, how have you been? I'm great. Well, congratulations on your baby. And Miss Smith says, thank you. And she goes, so, I know I sold you the condo. Now you'll be needing a home.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Smith says, well, we already purchased.
Yes.
And then the lady says, oh, you already purchased? And she said, yeah. She's like, well, we didn't hear from you. And there was somebody that a family friend happened to know. And that's who we chose to sell our home. Mm-hmm. And so a few months back, I had a whole month dedicated to relationship marketing and talking about being authentic, right? Showing up, having the connection. And a lot of agents, because they are in survival and security mode, okay, they just care that the mortgage or their bills need to be paid. So they don't care about the seeds that need to be planted for 5 years later, right? So they just think, okay, this month I need to sell a certain amount of houses and they all need to close in 30 days because my mortgage is due or my needs are due, right? They don't go back and they don't say, okay, well, I sold to this person a year ago. Let me pick up the phone and say happy anniversary to that person, or when is their birthday? And so for me, when I look at the truth and justice, and when I look at how to influence people, and when I look at the achievement of where it is in the belief in your desire statement, how can those things come true if you're not giving back and serving in justice? And that, to me, is also a piece of the pie that's missing, because some people will just get up every day and read their desire statement and believe in it and want the money. They'll say that they're going to give back to this by this date and this time and by doing these services. But as the money starts to come in, they forget that they still need to have another side of their business, which is the customer service and the retention side.
Absolutely.
Right? Wouldn't you agree?
I agree with you 100%. Again, that's part of the kind of person you are becoming.
That's
in
right.
the process.
That's right.
If you don't become the person who will be following up continuously, then you're going to lose that client.
Right. And so I always say to a real estate agent, if you don't want to have that model in your business, you might as well be a house flipper who just flips houses.
Yes.
Right? Because there's no emotion in it, there's no follow-up, there's no nothing.
Right.
Or go and buy a franchise.
Sure.
Because with a franchise, you buy the name, the people just come and buy, and you don't need to have a relationship with them. McDonald's doesn't have a personal relationship with you or I, but they have a good brand that stays top of mind for us.
Sure.
So they don't need relationship marketing.
Well, see, we have people in real estate companies. We train them. Their income has jumped from $80,000 to $800,000.
Yes.
Because it's not just that they start following or influence more people, okay? It's their personal growth that happens to them in the process.
Of it.
Okay, their relationship with themselves improves, number one. With themselves.
Yes.
Okay, their relation with their family improves.
Yes.
Right? Relation with the immediate people who are in their life improves with them. So you really cannot have harmony in life if your own life within yourself and with your relationship, immediate close people are messed up. How you really tell me how you are going to be outside and say, look, guys, I'm going to make your life better. It's not going to happen.
Yes.
So the transformation that takes place in an individual after following all the principles of Think and Grow Rich is so phenomenal.
Yes.
So, like we, as I told you, we have been teaching for so many years now. Let me give you an example. Why it's important to have all the principles in place.
Yes.
Let's say you want to be a really great writer.
Yes.
Don't you think it is your moral duty to know all the alphabets in the letters?
Yes.
A, B, C, and all your consonants and vowels you must know to become a good writer?
Yes.
So those 26 alphabets are important for you to become a good writer. Isn't that right?
Yes.
So suppose you say, I don't want to know S or Y. Now you're writing something. And you're stuck now because you're missing that S and Y, right?
Yes.
You didn't learn about this. Exactly the same way, all these 17 principles are alphabets for success.
Yes.
So if you miss one, I'm not saying that you cannot succeed.
Yes.
To become an outstanding success, you must know all those principles, must know how to apply those principles, then you become an outstanding success.
Yes.
So we cannot say, well, okay, I'm going to learn about definiteness of purpose or going that somewhere, applied faith. Yeah, but then your success is going to be limited to only those three principles.
Yes, and I can testify to that.
Yes.
If I may. So at the age of 18, I said I'm going to be a multimillionaire by 30.
Sure.
Okay, I put it out there in the universe. Everyone that met me, I would say it. I only incorporated the power of visualization.
Sure.
So by the age of 22, I did a vision board. I put the house, the car, all the things that I wanted and where I wanted to be. And I was well on my rise with the power of visualization.
Sure.
But because I didn't sit down and put a definite purpose behind each thing and where it was that I wanted to go, and my environment was so polluted, okay, what that did for me was I made six figures. I made thousands of dollars, but I didn't have a plan. Got audited by Revenue Canada.
Sure.
Okay, the accountant that did my files and stuff left me to deal with Revenue Canada by myself. I wasn't able to upkeep my lifestyle because I didn't have a plan. I was just living life. It's like you're really in the fast lane, and they say you can go from as you come up, you can come down.
Sure.
Okay, so, and you experienced that. And so at the end of the day, once I reevaluated my life, recalculated, and then in 2011 I started again. I didn't learn. Okay, went back to the book, skipped a certain couple of parts, but in there I had written that by January 19th, 2018, I would go full time in my business. And one of the things on the list was to adapt and have the principles of the Think and Grow Rich incorporated in my life and incorporated as a lifestyle. And when I started reading the book and I looked back from 2011 when I wrote the date, exactly January 19th, I went full time. January actually of this year, I went full time, right? And so now as I go through each principle each day and I'm following it and I've actually embedded it in my DNA, I can see the changes without being boastful or without being cocky or arrogant. I can actually tranquilly say that I'm becoming my best self because I believe in what I've written. I'm doing what I need to do, and it's like for like. I'm like the book says, how to win friends and influence people, because my mind has been detoxed of all the negative things. I know that there is work that I have to put in order for my reward to come full throttle. So, like you said, a lot of people want to skip. It's like making a good back home recipe.
Yeah.
The main ingredient, it's like baking cake without flour.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Natalie, a lot of people read Think and Grow Rich, but they really don't understand the real essence of Think and Grow Rich.
Correct.
It appears, it's about money, it's about wealth, and it's not so.
It's a mind for me.
It's not even mine. Let me tell you something more important. I have read everything that Napoleon wrote since that day he started writing.
Yes.
I have gone to the archives. I've studied so much about this person. Think and Grow Rich is not about making money. It's about making you.
Yes.
Okay, making you, how you become. He said, we all know that there is a higher power that exists. This is the real essence of Think and Grow Rich. How you harness, how you appropriate the infinite intelligence, the power of infinite intelligence within you. That's what Think and Grow Rich is about. Think and Grow Rich is not about anything else. If you really understand all the principles so well, automatically develop a kind of a sixth sense.
Yes.
Okay, when you develop the sixth sense, now you are applying that power which has come to you through the sixth sense in your everyday life.
Yeah.
This is the real achievement of Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
So now you already know through the sixth sense where the opportunities are.
Yes.
You are able to see those. You already know which pitfalls you have to avoid.
Yes.
Not to go on that route because your sixth sense tells you. Hunch. Okay, so don't ignore those hunches, but you cannot develop those hunches if you don't know all the principles. So real essence of Think and Grow Rich is not about making money or becoming wealthy or having a better relationship. It's connection to the higher source.
Of power.
Connection to the higher source and appropriate that power within you.
Yes.
So once you are part of that bigger universe, then you can have anything that you want in life.
Yes.
Nothing is going to stop you.
Yes.
That's what Think and Grow is about. So whether you're a realtor, whether you're an insurance agent, whether you're a business person, whether doctor, lawyer, it doesn't matter who you are. Unless you establish that connection, you will not be at peace of mind, no matter what kind of business you do.
So how would you, so some people don't understand when you say infinite intelligence. So,
Yes.
So what I try to do is bring it to them in a way that they can understand. So for me, I've said it's also a lifestyle change. Is that not equivalent to say they have to adapt? They have to adapt this if they're getting their sixth sense. They are living in their purpose every single day because now they've understood the 13 steps, right? So if I say to somebody, they'll say, well, why are you reading the book? Or what is it doing for you? For me, it's a lifestyle change because, when you diet, some people go on a diet, they lose a couple of pounds and then they feel good, but then they go back to eating the negative stuff again and then they end up regressing. But for myself, with how I've adapted the principles, it is a lifestyle change. So I used to be a negative thinker, or I would always, if you came to me and said, Natalie, I have this great idea, such and such, I find a way to say that it's not a great idea. But now, that might be a great idea for you, but because of my hunches and my sixth sense and how I'm able to connect, I can establish if that's good for me or not without it affecting you. Without being negative. It might be good for you, but it's not good for me. So I equate that to I've had a lifestyle change. I've had a different outlook on life, and I'm living my life in my best purpose because of the changes I've chosen to make.
Very true. See, again, there's something that always happens in this world, the change.
Yes.
So either you can be the part of that change, right?
Yes.
Or you can accept the change which somebody else is doing for you.
That's right.
Right? So Think and Grow, it gives you that power
Yes.
to make the change that suits you.
That's right.
Not that you are accepting somebody else's change.
Your own change that you've decided.
You have decided. Okay?
Yes.
And once, because you chose this, nobody thrusted upon you. And this is the reason a lot of people live a life of frustration,
Yes.
because everybody's choosing things for you which you may or may not want. Because you have not decided what you want in life, this will continue to be like this.
Yes. And
Right?
so you'll meet people who have said, why did you become a dentist? I
Yes.
became a dentist because my parents wanted me to. Why did you become a lawyer? Because my parents, or a doctor, or so on.
Yes.
And so they'll continue out that practice. And then at one point in their life, they'll just throw in the towel and say, I didn't want to do this. It wasn't me. And they go on to find what they truly wanted to do.
What they really want to do.
Yeah.
See, there's one thing Napoleon talks about. He says, if you do not like what you do, you have imprisoned yourself for the rest of the 40 years of your life.
Yes.
Okay? So why would you want to live in a self-imposed prison?
Yes.
Why don't you pick up something that you really love to do, rather than what your parents or your teacher or your uncle or your aunts or your friends or your family wants you to do?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Yes.
So see, once you know exactly what you want in life, not what somebody else wants
For you.
right? What you want in life.
Yes.
And you go after that. Apply the 70 rules Napoleon talks about.
Yes.
And you can set as high a goal as you want.
Yes.
As high a goal as you want.
Yes.
The limitations are only within you.
Yes.
Okay? Nobody's going to tell you, oh, you can only have so much. The question is how much you want.
Yes. In
That's
your mind.
In your mind.
Yes.
In your mind. And another powerful thing when you are a student of this philosophy is this: you never ever will reach your goal,
Yes.
because what happens is that goal gets bigger and bigger,
And all the time.
and you create yourself a vision about your life, not goal anymore. And you never live that vision anyway, because vision gets bigger and bigger.
And
You
bigger.
just walk
Yes.
through the one that you
I
have.
love that you said that.
Right. So that's up to you what kind of person you want to be. With a great vision, and goals become so small in your life to achieve,
Yeah.
right? And it's fun.
Yes.
One of my friend I know, he said, Satish, I have read Think and Grow Rich so many times. And every time I read, I feel somebody put new pages in the book
Oh my gosh.
because it changes the
Mindset.
way you start looking at things.
Yeah.
The same paragraph had a different meaning for you
Yes.
before you became that person who came to read the second time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's happened to me.
Yeah. I have a friend in Calgary, he says, Satish, I have read this book about 700 times. And every time I read this book, I make $1 million. Every time, his net worth is close to $1 billion.
Wow.
Okay? So he says, Satish, that's what this is all about.
So let me ask you, off the top of your head, can you list out one by one all the principles?
Kind of. Yeah, I can. I can give you the 6 core ones.
Okay,
that-
6 core.
6 core. Number
Yes.
1, definiteness of purpose.
Definite of purpose.
Number 2, mastermind.
Yes.
Number 3, habit of going the extra mile.
Yes.
Number 4, applied faith.
By faith.
Number 5, positive mental attitude.
Positive mental
And number
attitude.
6, pleasing personality.
Pleasing personality.
These are the 6 core principles you must understand to be a success in life.
Wonderful.
But rest of the 11, which are corollary of these 6 principles,
Yes.
it's like teamwork, concentration, learning from defeat,
Yes.
budgeting time and money, how to use the cosmic habit forces, concentration. Rest are all the elective principles. But you must know the rest 11 to maintain those 6.
So 6. Got
Okay?
it.
So that's what comprises the whole philosophy.
Yes, he does teach a class. So we're just going to look at some of the comments that are happening here. So first and foremost, Shane, where are you located? Because he does have classes. If you're in Toronto, the good news is he has a intensive workshop taking place on September the 6th. So that's next Thursday at Netwin Place. We have early bird tickets. So he's in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have one coming up in Toronto, 3-day intense workshop. I think it's in October 16, 17, 18, somewhere, don't correct me, it's around that week. 3-day very intense workshop. We are teaching one phase of Think and Grow Rich where you are really going to understand what Think and Grow Rich means and help you set your definite purpose in your life.
Wonderful.
That's just for that workshop, 3 days. Yes.
So if he's in Houston, you're going to go to the Think and Grow Rich Institute website and get in connection, and they'll be able to email you the dates or
Yes.
what's happening closest to you in Houston.
Or send us an email and we'll get connected to you.
And what's the email?
Contact at thinkandgrowrichinstitute.com.
Contact at thinkandgrowrichinstitute.com is the email that you'll want to send him, Shane. And so let's take a look at, so we have Kathy saying that she's learned something new each wave of Think and Grow Rich. So we're on the 4th wave of reading it. And so yes, absolutely, that has happened to me as well. Let's see what else is happening here. Welcome Gordon. Gordon is on here. Let's see. Kula is on here. Oh, my father's on here. Happy anniversary, Dad. It's their 45th wedding anniversary here. We've got Noita. We've got Sharon. Michael Ballard. Susan Hart is on here. All right, so we've got a few people on here. So Tamara's on here, Tamara Grant. And so let's talk a little bit about, for those that are struggling with their desire statement. I know why I struggled with my desire statement, because at first there was no thought and infliction into it. But let's give some tips on how you can help people who are struggling right now with writing out their desire statement.
Yeah. See, a lot of people confuse desire with wishful thinking.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people have wishful thinking. They say, oh, I want to be that rich or whatever. It just is on the surface of the mind.
Yes.
Where the desire is at the depth of your mind. Even it's like a tattoo on your mind. It cannot be erased.
Yes.
You are consumed by that desire.
Yes.
And how do you turn your wishful thinking into desire? Is you must, if you want to make, let's say $500,000, you must know the why behind that.
Yes.
Why I want to make $500,000. If your why is very strong, that becomes a desire.
Yes.
See, wish turns into desire because you have motive behind this.
Yes.
But when you start acting, start taking steps to towards that desire, it becomes a burning desire.
Yes.
So there are three steps. One is a wishful thinking, second is desire, then it turns to a burning desire. And after burning desire is obsessional desire.
Obsessional
that you
desire.
sleep with this, live with this, and nothing takes precedent over your desire. And you just everywhere then you see the signpost leading towards that direction.
Yes.
Now you're obsessed with the idea. When you reach that idea, it is at your subconscious level, and the minute anything that your subconscious mind has connection to the infinite intelligence.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, the hunches, the flash of insight starts to come to you. Do this, do this, do this. You don't need a plan even. Your entire plan, which you had to achieve your desire, is changed automatically from a higher purpose. They say, oh, wow. See, let me give you folks a very prime example. See, I got the rights for Think and Grow for Canada, and I'm driving one day on the highway. I said, why don't I get the US rights? And then all of a sudden, limitations come in my mind. Oh, US rights, Napoleon Foundation is doing it themselves. Why would they want to give it to me? I said, no, wait a minute. Stop. Whatever the mind can conceive,
The mind can achieve.
and believe, the mind can achieve, right? Right when I put my car on the side street, I sent them an email.
Yes.
I said, look guys, if you ever want to sell US, keep in mind.
Yes.
And I forgot about it.
Yes.
That happened the month of April, last year. In November, I get a call from them. Satish, somebody has offered us so much money for US, but you are first in line for us. I said, really? And see what happens, eh? Your sixth sense tells you to do certain things at that moment, that particular moment.
Yes.
And you better do that.
Yes.
Right? If I didn't send them the email, I wouldn't even own you.
Right.
Right? So right away
were
you start
first
to
in
take.
line.
You don't procrastinate. You start to work with your instinct.
Yes.
Okay, and logic goes out of the window. See, the logic was, why would they give it to me?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It says, no. Why shouldn't they give it to you?
Yes.
Right?
So you stopped yourself.
Yeah.
You reversed that negative thought.
Into
Came back to the now in a positive statement
Yes.
and sent the email.
Yes.
So do you see how you can cancel out your negative sabotaging habits just with stopping yourself in the middle of your tracks?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Love it.
We have a family business which is an education company. It's a multi-million dollars company, and my son has it. And when he started franchising, and I was a little skeptical as son. Who's going to give you $50,000 starting for this franchise fee, which we are offering basically a piece of paper. And because he's a student of Think and Grow, he said, Dad, what happened to you? Why would not they pay you $50,000? Not that why should they pay you? Why wouldn't they pay you?
Yes.
And guess what?
They pay.
They paid. Okay, so it's all a paradigm shift.
Yes.
I
love it.
How you start, but that happens to you only when you are truly a student of Think and Grow.
Yes.
Okay, otherwise it doesn't happen to you. Otherwise you work under limitations. So, oh, you know what?
Limited beliefs?
Limited beliefs.
Yes.
And then you say, well, oh, it's raining outside. Well, raining outside is what the big deal? Take an umbrella. See, you start to find the solution.
Yes.
People don't understand something. Guys, I'll tell you something. The more you read, the more you understand, the better your life gets.
Yes.
You will develop in yourself what we call a auto success reflex.
Yes.
Let me tell you what it is. And anytime you have a problem in life, you are able to find the solution. Doesn't matter what problem is. And people ask me, Satish, don't have any problem in life? Of course I do. Of course I do. I'm like human being. I'm like
you and I are the same, right?
I the same. But our response is different. That's all it is. It's not that we don't have issues to deal with. Of course we do. But our response is very different.
And our action is very different as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
We are looking for the absolute positive thing that can come out of this.
Wonderful.
When you read the chapter on adversity in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, that every adversity, every heartache has a seed of equal or better benefit.
Yes.
And that benefit is much bigger than if you had not failed.
In the
right?
first place, yeah.
right? You will never see that advantage.
Right. I love this. I'm so glad that we were able to do this. I think it was very good to just sit, because it's like you are continuously learning. Like even after speaking with you,
Yes,
there's
yes.
a learning. So next Thursday, I've already purchased my ticket, by
You
the
did,
way.
huh?
Yes, I did. I see that it is an intense workshop, and there are 4 sections to this intense workshop.
Yes.
So without giving away the juices, what can they expect?
What do they want to expect?
What do they want to expect? You guys hear that?
It's not question what I'm going to give them.
Yes.
Question of what do they want?
What do they want? Get your minds right with what it is that you want.
What do you want?
Yes.
And somebody asked me, how big is your company? Well,
Limitless.
I said, how big you can think. That's all my answer is, how big they can think.
Yes. Yes.
But that's how big it is.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes. I love
So everything is in your mind.
Everything is in your mind.
Everything in your mind.
So it's an intense workshop. If you
Yes.
have gotten anything off of this particular interview, you're going to get it in loads and ample of amounts next Thursday at Netwin Place, 6:30 p.m. I'll post the link in the chat for the early bird ticket. So it is listed at $197, but the early bird, luckily enough, we were able to get it
Yes.
through this link for $97. Now I want you to leave the people with a message on faith. Okay, there are some people who believe that they have faith, but there are things that are in their subconscious that sabotage the growing faith. What can we leave them with today if they are doubtful or if they're having issues with faith?
Okay. See, let me first explain to you. We are not here talking faith in conjunction with any theology here.
Yes,
It's a faith in your own ability.
correct.
Let's say you have a remote in your hand to change the channel on your TV. You are so confident, right, that when you press the button, the channel is going to change. Isn't that true?
Correct.
That's how confident you are. You sit in your car, when you hit the starter button, you know your car is going to
Going
start.
to start.
Isn't that faith you have in the car?
Yes.
And the remote?
Yes.
Exactly that same kind of faith is within your own ability. Look, whatever I think, I'm going to achieve it.
Yes.
Simple. So that's the faith we are talking. We are not talking about any faith of theology or anything.
Yes.
It's basically the confidence in your own ability that you can have and be and do anything that you want. That's what it is.
Perfect. And that's exactly how I wanted you to sum it up. Because a lot of people will say, a vision board didn't work for me, or Think and Grow Rich didn't work for me. But what is your belief system within yourself?
Yes, yes.
If you have self-doubt, that is a limiting belief that is allowing for your faith to stay hibernated somewhere and not come out to full fruition.
Very, very. That's what it is.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Well, I love this, you guys. This is Satish Verma. He is the president and founder of Think and Grow Institute in many territories, not just here in Toronto or here in Ontario. I'd like to thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
the opportunity. It was very appreciative. You guys have an awesome and amazing evening. And for those of you, I will post the link to the ticket, and we will see you again some other time. Have an awesome and amazing day. Bye-bye.